Good evening, everybody. We got game one of the losers bracket or bonus bracket semifinals between Antlerz and some guy named Groot. Don't know who that is. But how did they get there is a question you're probably asking. Mr. Fred Coughlin himself ended up beating Captain Green 7, who made his way through the bonus bracket for quite some time, getting past the likes of Saber and Truon before being ousted by Fred into Antlerz, meanwhile, ousted Jay Coper, who defeated the likes of Thurwolf and Digshake. So lots of competition down there that they had to weed through in order to get to where they are now. Since we're on Elite 8 flags, you probably noticed there's two hearts to start with. It was a random selection of 1 to 5, and it rolled 2 this time, so a little bit of a challenge. Always fun to see in these Elite 8 flags. I'm Fury SK, and LOZ Cards fan will be joining me shortly. And we have Catastrophe providing the tracking for you, and shoutouts to Lord of the Synth for restreaming this for us today. Couple of interesting notes right off the bat is we do have the potential for the sword to be blocked by whatever's behind the Armos item, so we'll be on the lookout early to see what that Armos item is. Additionally, we'll be on the lookout right off the bat for whether or not the overworld is mirrored, or if it's first or second quest, or a mix of both. And it looks like we are getting underway here. Looks like it's the river road between the White Sword Cave and the access to Eastern Death Mountain and or heading towards Vanilla 1. And right off the bat, we see a little divergence between the two runners. So far, it doesn't look like the money is going to be too bad. Medium Secret's just one shy of its normal. And looks like we are going to have a door repair of just 1 over its normal. It's 21 instead of 20. Arrow shot, meanwhile, has been found. It's 95, which is close to the maximum that it can be. I think it can roll 60 to 100. If that's the cheap key, it rolled up pretty high for what it normally would be, I think. Or is that normal? To be honest, it's been a while since I played the normal game, but 80 is slightly expensive if this happens to be a second quest overworld. And we know right off the bat it will not be a full second quest, though it may house some second quest attributes such as 1 large secret instead of 3. We know this because we just saw Antlerz climb towards what would normally be vanilla level 5, and he had a take any one shot up there instead of a lift. And one of the dungeon enemies has come up to the overworld. It is the Gorilla, so it's not a very friendly overworld for having a low heart count, because those Gorilla can turn in a hurry, throw out those boomerangs, and they do 1 heart of damage, so you only have 2 that you can take. What's not fun about this Vanilla 6 screen is once you go up that set of stairs to the level and come back to that screen, a lot of the time you're stuck kind of playing with the enemy set that's on that screen trying to get out of there. Meanwhile, it looks like we have our first dungeon. It was on the Armos that usually houses the Blue Ring shop, and it looks like they're way up high in the dungeon, so hard to diagnose exactly what that is. Yeah, it's second from the top. Well, it's a little bit easier now. We have first quest first half at least. So it's going to be one of those easier seeds key-wise most likely, because level 2 and level 5 in first quest can't have a lot of keys. Seems likely we're going to see our Armos item over on Antler's side here shortly. And we've also found one of the large secrets on what seems to be a mixed quest overworld. And not surprisingly, with Heart Shuffle on and there being 9 hearts in the shuffle, we have found a heart container as the Armos item in the forest. That 80 key is in fact the cheaper of the 2 key options, so if there's not another large secret to be found in this seed, the runners are going to struggle just a little bit, and the bombs are not cheap either, though the meat isn't too bad at 58. Looks like Fred's going to opt for 2 bomb packs, though, and we have silvers on the coast, so just in case the Triforce was readily available somewhere in level 4 before the ladder block, now we know for sure a ladder is required. So both runners are probably going to be looking around the overworld, looking for their level 1 through level 3 once Antlerz finds out that he's on first quest first half. And they're also going to be trying to find enough heart containers and potentially the White Sword Cave to make sure that that's not something that's essential towards completion of the seed. You hate to kind of complete the overworld exploration minus a couple caves, not have the White Sword and White Sword Cave checked, and have that be something like the wand, the red candle, the ladder, or something essential or very useful in completing the seed. And unfortunately, it looks like Fred has found a leave your life, or I think that was key, was the other option there, and he's already found 1 heart container, so he wouldn't be able to zombie mode from 2 hearts down to 0 life, 2 hearts. He'd have to give up his heart container he found. It looks like Antlerz in this level, which is hard to call currently. This yellow dungeon, though, had the floor drop as the recorder. I'm really compelled to call this either Shapes or 5, maybe? We'll find out here in a moment when he checks his Triforce what dungeon he was in. We have that looks like second quest though on the back half, so that's probably 5 he was in. And he's not going to check it, so options are pretty slim between 2, 5, and that's kind of it for whatever Antlerz had there. And Fred's trying to navigate the overworld, unfortunately taking deaths despite the fact that he has the current bomb advantage over Antlerz. Although just as I say that, it appears Antlerz has found himself a screen with some bombs. So, see if he opts to flute and open that back up for a second pack. It looks like he will. It looks like Fred's going to use the up and A trick inside a dungeon, going back into level 9 to get back to 2 health. So, not a bad play, even though it doesn't give you the most health in this overworld. You take what you can get. It's 10 minutes in, we're not really expecting a lot of progress for probably the first half hour of the game, unless there's some sort of early combat in this seed. A lot of this is going to be exploration, kind of finding yourself a way into 3 or 4 keys and 8 bombs, saving that, and then kind of retrying your way to find this potential solution of the seed. So until the runners can kind of get to that point, or as I said, if it's free combat, it's free combat. Probably not going to see a lot of stuff happen early on here. Looks like Fred is finding his way into whatever dungeon this is. We kind of guessed at it being 2 or 5. Chat seems to think it's 2. And given that's a shutter door, I can now say that I agree with that. So now we're in 2. Looks like Antlerz, meanwhile, has found level 4. He's going to find probably the same blocks that we saw on Fred's side and realize that he's pretty much out of luck. But in case he didn't know he was in First Quest 2 before, he certainly knows he was now. Something tells me, given he didn't map check, he probably knew. Though I can't recall if Fred actually had the bombs to kind of check to the left of the Dig Dogger room, so maybe there's a potential for the ladder to still be in 4 once we see if that bomb wall opens up, as both runners now have their first Triforce from level 2. Or at least I do believe that that was free to both runners. Yeah, Antlerz had a chance to check it earlier. Can't confirm that bomb wall does not open in 4 though, so 100% ladder block. Ladder won't be there. Fred's utilizing a trick to kind of get around some of the stuff on this screen. You can HUD clip on the screen up to the normal 100 vanilla secret because it's not a staircase that slows you down, and then you can kind of clip your way from a screen wrap onto the left side of this screen that he's on now and get on that staircase from there. It's pretty useful when there's something other than p-hats are probably on that screen. And we have our first interesting block of the sea. We had a recorder block in Eastern Death Mountain with a dungeon. It's not something that's going to stop one runner from potentially getting in, as both have their flute from level 2. But nevertheless, it's interesting to see that block come into play early. Unfortunately, it looks like Virus rolled high in what kind of, sort of early appears to be 3. And we have a push block room. Unfortunately, it's filled with blue Lionels, so we'll have to hope they roll low if and when Antlerz goes back to that. Looks like he wants to check the rest of Eastern Death Mountain first, though. I see why he wanted to do that. He has a decent enough retry, in his opinion, with 2 keys and 5 bombs. So that allows him to go back into that dungeon with the Lionels and potentially clear that and find these. Well, no, he's not going to go that way. I thought he was going to go back in there and try and clear those blue Lionels out and see if that was the item. Most of the open staircases will not be in the seed. I think there's only going to be a couple, perhaps in some of the later dungeons, or if it kind of rolled wonky, it'll be in the early ones too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for my delay in arrival, but that's what happens when a 5-minute call that you expect to take takes 45 minutes.
A surprise LOZ Cards fan.
So, I'm looking at the recap here. It looks like that the silver arrows were the ladder item on the coast, and we found the recorder, what is that, level 2?
Yep, recorder from level 2 with both runners having the Triforce out of 2. Presumably level 3's in Death Mountain next to one of the warp zones, and then level 4's on that blue ring shop with a bunch of nasty blue gorillas that snipe you, and when you get in there you find your ladder block, so we know ladder's not.
Excellent. Well, and thank you very much for covering me the first 15 minutes of the race. I did not expect to be on the call as long as I was, but that's something sometimes that cannot be helped. But I am back, and it's time to call the exciting action. We're down to our final 4 in the Zelda Randomizer All Boards No Swords Tournament. This is game 1 of the bonus bracket semifinals between fcoughlin and Antlerz, and boy, this is going to be a good set.
Yep, looking forward to see who can solve this. First quest, first half, second quest, back half seed.
And I did see the money because I was eyeing on the raise. It looked like it was about as close to vanilla as you can get. So we saw the small secret be 11, the medium be 29, and the large be 98. It's about as close to vanilla as you can get.
Yep, just a question of how many of those large secrets are readily available to the runners.
Yeah, I saw people in chat were speculating what kind of overworld we're dealing with, and I know a few people think we're dealing with a full-blown second quest. If those people are right, that means there's just going to be the one large secret, 6 small, and the 7 medium.
Well, as much fun as a full-blown second quest overworld would be, unfortunately, level 5 is first quest setup, so it's going to be a mixed quest of some sort.
Right, and whenever it's mixed, I do believe the 3 larges still come into play, unless there's mixed second quest.
Yep, we do have mixed first and mixed second available, so we won't know until we kind of run out of caves whether or not we have first quest secrets or second. Or
Right.
perhaps we'll find more than 4 small secrets.
True, because I know we did see the one large secret about 5 minutes ago. But anyways, back to the race at hand here. So I'd say these runners are pretty much level pegging as we see Fred finding the quote-unquote hint shop. And of course, the hints are useless because throughout the rest of the tournament, we are dealing with nothing but community hints. And the telltale sign of that is whenever you see the vanilla prices of the hint shop. When you see that, you know, in any kind of setting, to stay far away from those hints.
Yep. What's interesting right now is Antlerz is in the, what presumably is level 3 in Death Mountain, and gets through the Lionel screen with the staircase. Unfortunately, it looks like it's a heart container, so all that effort, not a whole lot of payoff.
Now, better than, I suppose, I don't know, the book. Well, some people might get the book because it does act as the atlas, as opposed to understanding the old men in Hyrule, which can be beneficial, especially if we're dealing with shapes.
Yeah, I suspect Fred for sure knows its first quest and second quest as the 2 dungeon types, so I don't think he'll pick it up, but you never know.
Yeah, if it's first quest and second quest, that means we're dealing with the first quest, first half. I do believe I saw the level 4 image on Antler's side earlier. And then that means we have the second quest, 7, 8, 9. You know what that means? 35 rooms of stairways to hell.
Yep, and we know that second quest is that backside because of level 9 start point in the middle as opposed to the right. So it's not in the right of Skull, it's in the middle of Ganon's face.
Ooh, we got some beefy gels on Antler's side. 1 HP is not enough to take him down. You need more than that. And that's going to make clearing rooms full of gels, normally an easy task, a little bit aggravating.
Yeah, Fred's going to find the same dungeon here shortly, it looks like. So with that, the early advantage is gone, and there's not really an advantage to be had in this dungeon. Both floor and staircase are heart containers.
And Antlerz does find a heart container on the ground that's going to take him up to 6 hearts, which means he is guaranteed the white sword item. Have we found it yet?
Not to my knowledge.
Alright, so whatever that white sword item is, Antlerz will be guaranteed to pick it up. And of course, with Fury SK in the commentator's booth, he might be hoping for a little bit of magical boomerang action.
Well, I think my buddy Alsoa, who's kind of a lore banana fan, has put it best. If you find a banana early, it doesn't matter if it's blue or yellow, you pick it up.
That's right, there are no alliances when it comes to Zelda Randomizer, especially in a race situation here, but Antlerz is out of that level. Fred's going to continue to explore in the hopes that he may find that Triforce, and of course, Antlerz, nice bombing there to clear a couple of dart nuts, but because he didn't get a bomb drop, he's just going to up and A, try again.
It looks like Fred's hoping this shoot room has a Triforce in it.
Yeah, that's quite a possibility. This horizontal shoot room that Fred is in is definitely a drop room, but he needs those Lionels to spawn in the correct position. There really isn't much he can do if they're spawning on the bottom like this. And boy, that last Lionel really testing Fred's patience here.
Well, he is going to be able to get on this one. Bam, Triforce.
Wow, Fred with the intuition there, and you as well, Fury. You had a hunch that maybe the Triforce was there, and lo and behold, there it is. So all Fred's got to do is find a workaround, and he'll have another Tringle on the board.
Yep, a horizontal shooting 3 is a very suspect thing. It usually has an item in the middle, and so Triforce can and will usually be in there when it's in that vanilla spot.
Absolutely, Fury. And of course, Fred picking up that Triforce here. And that's another thing with vanilla level 3. More often than not, you are going to see that horizontal shoot room in there just because of how wide that particular level is. But Fred is going to go back in there. He's going to be disappointed to find out what the treasures are. But again, like I said, could be worse.
Yeah, it's not too big of a disadvantage either for Antlerz to not have grabbed the Triforce out of there, because the start screen is on that river road between the White Sword and Eastern Death Mountain, so it's only going to be 2 or 3 screens to go back up there once he has good combat. I don't think it'll take him long
No, not at all.
to deduce that the shoot room has something.
But Antlerz is going to explore Death Mountain here in the hopes he finds something very valuable here. Well, he does find some cash to the tune of 29 rupees.
What makes this a smart play is he's got to save with 8 bombs. He can go through Western Death Mountain, check all the caves. If there's nothing there, he's got them all back. But there is something.
Yeah, speaking of which, we were talking about what White Sword item that could be. And there it is. It is the magical boomerang, which Antlerz will go ahead and pick up to Fury SK's approval.
Yep. Again, no allegiances, though. You cannot say no to a boomerang when you don't have a repeatable combat item. And even when you do, those mini dig doggers getting stunned makes it easier to hit them.
Absolutely. That is one thing that people might overlook with the boomerang, regardless of which type you have, is that they do stun lock your dig dogger segments, and it makes the fight so much easier because if you get hit by a dig dogger segment, you're losing 2 hearts, so you really got to be careful. And having that boomerang really makes the fight much more manageable. Ooh, a beefy, fast blue Octorox. 3 candle strikes wasn't enough to take it down, so they must have rolled 4 or 5.
Oh, with that bomb drop on him, 7 HP, he can never roll, so he's dead.
Yeah, it's anywhere between, because normally blue Octorox have 2 HP, so it could have had as many as 6 HP. The red ones have only 1 HP. Antlerz checking with his last bomb, but that is nothing but a Death Mountain Casino, and Antlerz opting to save his game rather than retry. Interesting.
Yeah, we have access to some bomb shops, so I guess he's just gonna fork over some cash here.
Yeah, that's true that there is a bomb shop nearby. The price isn't great. It is 27 rupees, which would translate to a 35% markup, but I've seen plenty of worse bomb prices than that. That would make the most sense. Random Effect pointing out that by saving, he keeps his magical boomerang, which is a nice secondary weapon to have when you don't have a permanent firing weapon.
Yeah, it's to each their own there. He could have retried and gone straight to that one cave that housed the magic boomerang, or he could opt to farm bombs here and then save again.
He does get a fortunate candy bomb drop from that orange dark nut. That's one way to get it, either on the 1, the 6, or the 8 of your global counter. The other way you can get a set of bombs from enemies is to force a 10 count. Kill 10 enemies in a row without getting hit by an enemy. And if you bomb the 10th enemy, provided that it's in some sort of drop group, you're going to get that 4-pack of bombs. So this is game 1 of the best of 3 here between Antlerz and Fred Coughlin. The winner of the set will face off against a familiar name. I don't know. Who's this Fury SK dude?
There is no Fury SK, only Groot.
Right. But yeah, we're down to the final four, and this is the cream of the crop here as Antlerz finds out that part of Candle Row is not burnable, just like in Second Quest.
I think I've seen at least 4 of these small secrets hit at this point, so if I see a 5th one here on a screen that neither one of them is checked, and they've checked quite a bit of it, then that's going to confirm that's a lower money seed than normal.
Right. Now, Adagino's pointing out in chat that he saw that the level 5 spot was first quest 5. I believe that's an indicator of this being a first quest mixed overworld, because I believe if it's a second quest mixed overworld, you have the fairy fountain there.
So the way it's set right now, to my knowledge, is first quest always has all 3 first quest locations. Second quest always has them set up in their second quest. But if you have either mixed, it's always going to be level 3 and level 5 have their normal first quest caves, and vanilla level 2 will have the lake.
Yep, that's correct, which leaves the possibility of 2 recorder lakes holding dungeons.
Yep.
And, ooh, we find a hidden spot in the whistle spot. Just an arrow shop, nothing doing for Antlerz.
I guess the good fortune here is that the rare shop doesn't house bombs, arrows, cheap meat. I think it's pretty much the candle shop that's the rare shop, so as long as you can find the free candle on the overworld, you're set.
Now, Antlerz found another bonus cave and took the heart container. Of course, the reason he took that is because he already has the potion in hand, so that's going to take him up to 8 hearts. Now, we started with, what was it, just 2 hearts?
Yep.
Alright, so, to get that 4-pack of bombs, which, by the way, replaces the magical sword, you need anywhere between 10 and 14 bombs. Obviously, you don't see runners go out of their way to go back to get the bombs, even if they're short. But Fred making a last-second switch, he was going to pick up his 7th heart container, but instead, in my opinion, making the correct move and taking the free potion.
Yep, if he had only 4 or 5 hearts, you'd see the value of going ahead and picking up a 6th heart container just to confirm that she could pick up what we know is the magic boomerang.
Speaking of heart containers, Antler's getting another one here in this level. That's going to take him up to 9 hearts. Here's a staircase for Antlerz. It is a transport staircase. I wonder if he's in level 7 or 8, second quest.
I do believe he is in one of those, given how linear this is. Well,
that's looking like it, and Antler's wanting no part of that orange lamole. You lose 2 hearts every time you get bopped by them. They are the slower moving variety, but doesn't matter what color those lamolas are. You get hit, you're losing 2 hearts without a ring.
so to my knowledge, this is the furthest column to the left, and it's going up from the bottom. I want to go ahead and call this level 6.
Yeah, it could very well be New York State, as I like to call it, because when you look at the map of level 6 in second quest, no, this is first quest level 6. Wait a minute, I'm getting way ahead of myself. 1 through 6 is going to have our first quest dungeons. 7 through 9 is going to have our second quest. So yeah, this could be level 6 first quest.
Yeah, I believe second quest 8 to go to the right in the rows would have to be on the second row, and he's all the way down the first row. And because you can go all the way up and down that line, we know it's not level 7, so I'm pretty sure we can confirm this in now as 6.
There is a mugger room there, however, which is not normal for a level 6 first quest, but Antler's going to pay the toll of 1 heart container. It's either 1 heart container or 1 out of your maximum bombs, and considering that he already had 9 hearts and he's already got the white sword item in the magical boomerang, I definitely agree with this move with Antlerz dropping one of his heart containers as Fred's going to buy some more bombs here. Are you kidding me? Back-to-back mugger rooms! indeed, this is level 6, and I'll tell you what, based on those two Mugger Rooms, you would think that was second quest level 7s. We do have the Triforce on Antler's side. That is going to be another Tringle on the board. I believe, was that 3 Triforce pieces?
I believe it's his second. It puts them both at 2 because he didn't get the 1 out of 3.
Oh, that's correct. That's right. Fred was the only one that got it out of 3, and both runners have the Triforce out of level 2. Yes. Yeah, the way this level is set up, you would think it was second quest level 7 with the back-to-back Mugger Rooms like that. That is just gross game. Well, the good news is I believe there's only going to be 1 left.
Yeah, I want to say it's like 4 of them total in second quest. I think there's a potential for it to roll 4, but that's one of the things that I don't keep as great of track of as I probably should when I race these flat.
I want to say that there's 3. I believe it's 1 in level 4 and 2 in level 7. And in Randomizer, when you have the Mugger Rooms in play, it can be anywhere between 1 and 3 of those Mugger Rooms. So at most, there's going to be 1 left.
Yeah, I'll wait for HN to come in and yell at me that I'm wrong.
Right. Anyways, both players in different dungeons. Antler's looking for the staircase item in level 6. So the next staircase he finds will indeed be his staircase item. I believe, now he's already found, I believe, the floor heart. We know that. So Fred now in this level, which I know it's not shapes, but I'm still bad at playing Name That level.
Let's see, he's coming in from the left, going into the rooms, and goes vertical, so,
Antler's trying to get those gels to bunch up together, and look at that! And it's going to pay off to whatever that item is, and it's going to be the ladder! Whoa! What perseverance there from Antler's, getting those gels grouped together, and he is rewarded handsomely.
Yep, so we may see him go ahead and do the world wrap into the post-silver arrows here shortly, but first going to check to make sure there's nothing else hiding in this dead woods area. He's got to be careful without going to that fairy fountain. He'll be in danger of getting sniped by 2 more boomerangs.
Yep, because those boomerangs do 1 heart of damage regardless of the color of the gorilla.
Alright, looks like that gray dungeon is going to be the dungeon of what am I blocked by next in second quest. Not
So
the
that
best to
would be
find her.
Level 8.
Yep.
The 35 rooms of stairways to hell, getting yourself lost, trying to find all the items, because you have the 2 staircases that are going to have the items, but you also have 5 sets of transport staircases, and you also have 2 dead ends, and look at this! Recorder Lake required! We find a level here.
Yep, but we find something else important in level 8 right off the bat. Even though he had 5 keys, that any key is big.
That is huge, especially if level 9 turns out to be one of those key-starved dungeons. Antler's sitting on 4 keys, so he's in a fair... Fred getting the magical key here out of level 8. He will not have to worry about key problems for the rest of this race.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the early call on Antlerz being in level 7. Just because you can go walking across the entire bottom row, it looks like.
And he finds a transport staircase. It looks like a pretty likely bet. Now wait just a minute here. If this is level 7, behind Recorder Lake, I mean, I know it's second quest, so can we give it a half Fred?
Yeah, French vanilla, half Fred, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of sort.
Right. Antler's finding a reverse C. Unfortunately, it's a red herring. There is no push block there, and there's a river room that, thankfully, Antler's really won't have to worry about, but he's going to have to take care of these Zols. Hey, look at that! Zol's going down in a candle shot.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, even though it's level 7, he is out of bombs, so it's going to limit the amount of combat he can actually do in this dungeon, despite the fact that he won't really need to open up too many walls in here. I think it's really, you can only open up 1 if it's kind of logically forcing it into place in this linear path.
Right, Fury. And of course, level 7 has no walk-through walls in second quest. So, yeah, and if he wants to try and find workarounds, he would need bombs, and he currently doesn't have any. And oh boy, a lot of red bubbles staring in his face in that single block room. Antlerz is hoping that that orange Wizrobe is not the dominant enemy here in this room, and it isn't. So Antlerz just needs to clear one more Zol, and he gets a set of bombs. What a drop.
Oh man, though, he got stuck by the red bubble in this room. That's gonna take some real time off this.
Unfortunately, the curse today for the red bubbles is half-speed Link, and unless he finds a blue bubble, he's going to be moving that slow for quite some time. There are 3 different curses that red bubbles can generate in these flags. 1 is what you're seeing right here, slowing down the runner by half. 2 is inverting the controls. And 3 would be taking away your sword. But since this is swordless, that's pretty much, it does nothing to you. So that's the curse you hope happens in a randomizer, all boards, no swords race, but it's only a 1 in 3 chance.
Well, thankfully there was a blue bubble in with the Wizrobes in the next room over, and with that bomb sitting on the floor there with the red bubbles, that's probably a staircase.
Yep. Unfortunately, Antlerz finds more red bubbles here in this 5 loungers room, which is a potential push block. It is a push block. Will it be a transport, or will it be the item? It's the item. Oh, all hail. It is the wooden boomerang, because Antlerz already has the magical boomerang. There's no need for him to pick it up. Now, for those of you who have never seen a Zelda randomizer, or Legend of Zelda for that matter, if Antlerz would have picked up that wooden boomerang, it would not have superseded his magical boomerang. So if he would have picked it up, nothing would have happened. It's not like the comparison I always like to make, Fury SK, is it's not like Castlevania 2 where you can actually downgrade your whip. If you have like the Morning Star, you can actually purchase a Thorn Whip and downgrade your whip. That is not the case here in The Legend of Zelda.
Now, what's kind of important to note, though, is this dungeon set has the green moblins, and I don't know if you saw, but he was hitting those with a boomerang, and they were falling over just like that, so they're 0 HP.
Oh, nice. 0 HP blue moblins, which are in the bomb-dropping group. That's very, very nice. Unfortunately, Antlerz is missing the mark here on this Dodongo. Now, the good news for Antlerz, because it's the single Dodongo, it is not going to respawn. Antlerz does, or rather, Fred does find the Triforce here in level 8, but he's looking for the second item and potentially could be behind this Aquamentus. He goes down in 2 bombs. There is a push block and another mugger room for Antlerz. He is down to 6 hearts. He was at 9 hearts about 10 minutes ago, and he's found 3 mugger rooms in the last 10 minutes. Yikes.
Well, the important thing to note here is that when Fred goes to level 6, in order to get that ladder, because the staircase is on the left side of the dungeon, he's not going to have a choice. He's going to have to burn 2 hearts there. And unless there's a staircase around this in level 7, which there probably will be, again, you're going to have to give up some hearts.
Oh, speaking of giving up some hearts, Antlerz taking an orange beam to the face, losing 4 hearts. He's down to 1 heart. Remember, he took a sip out of that potion in the hopes that he could clear this room, but this room is a nightmare. Spike traps, moblins, turret statues, Wizrobes. Yikes.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure that this room is not the Triforce, which is kind of what he's looking for more than anything.
Unfortunately, the orange Wizrobe is the dominant enemy in this room, but can they go down in 1 bomb? Of course not! These orange Wizrobes had their Chef Boyardee. No Triforce, it's a nickel. Antlerz is trying to get through this room without getting hit by the spike traps. He's successful. That was amazing. That is tough to do. What do we have behind this room? Much easier enemies. He's going to hope that a heart drops from these Zols. They're in the money dropping group. There are a couple hearts in that cycle.
It looks like he opts to up an A, so that might be the end of his exploration in level 7.
He'll come back later when he's got a little more resources here and get that Triforce out of there. But Antlerz will get out of level 7 as Fred continuing to try to find the rest of the items here in level 8.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting with the ladder in hand, and with the second quest being the back half of these dungeons, you're really going to sink some time in to these bigger dungeons if you decide to explore them early. I'm kind of curious to why we haven't seen a re-adventure into level 4 that was ladder blocked with the Triforce sitting right there.
Yeah, I'm with you right there, Furious K, but I'm sure Antlerz will find a way to route that back in. Right now, he's exploring the graveyard, and there is a whistle spot here, and we find the letter, which could come in handy for Antlerz, but he is saying no to that. He feels confident in his current status right now, but he knows where the letter is if he does decide he needs to buy potions later on.
Looks like level 8 was that bomb spot in the graveyard, because I think they're both now in the same dungeon despite the slight change in color between the two.
Right, one screen south and east of vanilla level 6 is where the potion shop would be in that vicinity.
So Antler's making this play with 8 keys in hand. He's probably not going to be the most thrilled with what potentially lies in this staircase.
True. Fred does find the Triforce in level 8, so he'll pick that up. That'll be his third Triforce piece. But the Antlerz, back to that bomb problem again. He's going to get out of level 8 for the time being.
Yeah, it looks like he might... Yeah, he's going to pirouette the top door first, just to make sure there isn't something free in here.
Good strategy there. Fred finding a potion shop, and that appears to be our bait block.
Yep. The bait block in level 8 second quest sitting right there for him.
But no Skittles for that, Gibdo. Antlerz does not have the bait, so he's out of level 8 for the time being. He'll come back later.
I didn't see Fred buy any bait, so I'm presuming you can get a staircase around.
Antlerz opting to buy the bombs, so he has a little bit in his arsenal. Fred finds the letter, and he's going to go ahead and pick it up. So if he shows that to the potion shop merchants, we'll get an idea of what kind of price we're paying for our potions this seed. Now, he did pick up a free potion earlier, so he won't show the letter until he absolutely needs to.
Alright, I'm getting corrected. He did have the bait, he did pay it, and it led to a one-way staircase, so not sure if that's really going to be essential for Antlerz to progress in there or not.
Doesn't look like it. Fred checking where the Vanilla 100 secret is in the Deadwoods. Nothing to burn. Now where is Antlerz going to go? Is he going to check the second quest river spots? No, he's going to head for the forgotten spot. Fred is going to check the recorder lake. He'll find level 7 now.
It looks like the rare candle shop is the forgotten spot, so nothing essential there this time. And Fred still has his bait because he apparently up and A'd out of that bait block when he found out that it had nothing of relevance.
Antlerz unfortunately finding a door repair penalty, which is 21. So in terms of the money, it's been about as close to vanilla as can be without it being vanilla.
Yeah, he's going to retry again to kind of conserve his resources some more. See if he goes to level 4 now or if he chooses a different play.
Looks like Antlerz is going to make a different play here. We'll see if Fred gets a little bit luckier trying to find the staircase item out of level 7. I don't believe Antlerz found either of the two items.
Well, Lord Banana was the staircase.
That's right. That's right. I didn't write it down.
I don't think he saw the floor drop, though. He cleared a lot of rooms in this level 7. I think there's probably only 4 or 5 left.
Antlerz goes back to level 4. He'll get the Triforce out of the Chevy room, and Fred not happy about finding Lord Banana here. So this is definitely not a TGE approved seed. No way.
Yeah, they unfortunately both found Blue Boomerang on the overworld first, which kind of takes any choice in the matter away.
Absolutely. And for those, again, who don't know how boomerangs work, wooden boomerang has a limited range, but some people prefer it because it has better control. While the magical boomerang, the range is the entirety of the screen. So you can start on one corner and use the magical boomerang to reach the other corner of the screen. But some people don't favor it because it is a little bit harder to control. And of course, we find a compass after we find the Triforce, because that's just how this game works, Fury.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unfortunately, there's no drop in that Zol room for Antlerz, so he'll proceed with this Dig Dogger, and what a room for a Dig Dogger. We've got some Gibdos here, and without a permanent weapon, that is going to be a nasty room. Antlerz is hoping that there's no drop there. Instead, he's going to try and clear this room full of Zols and hope that here, and... Ooh, he forced a bomb. Very impressive. Antlerz building up that 10 count, putting the Zol in place with the boomerang, and then bombing it to get that forced bomb. So now what Antlerz, I assume, is going to try to do is he's going to do the same thing he did with the gels earlier. He's going to try and group the Gibdos together and then use a couple of bombs to take them down in the hopes that he's going to get some kind of drop. Unfortunately, those two Gibdos on the west side of that NSU room, they're not coming to him. One of them is approaching him, so he's closing in on getting for the last one, and it is starting to come his way. There he comes. So there's all 5 Gibdos bunched. He'll set the bomb down and stun him again. And 2 bombs isn't up, but unfortunately he gets no reward.
Yeah, he's found a 9th key now in this T room. I think at this point, even with second quest level 7 and 8 being in play, you probably are going to start burning through some more key doors when you have to. You're not going to sit there and worry about losing 1 or 2 here.
Antlerz finding a reverse C room. Potentially this could be our push block room to an item. We'll find out in a moment, as he's going to group these wall masters together. They normally have 2 HP. We'll see if 1 bomb's enough to take them down. And sure enough it is, but it is a key, so that's not going to be it.
Yeah, but you're really seeing some of the play with the boomerang here from both runners, really, because it's, again, one of those items that gets laughed at kind of when you find it in normal sorted seeds, because nobody really wants to find that item. But here, you're allowed to stun a whole bunch of stuff up and conserve bombs, and he had basically a forced bomb drop there because the last bomb he used was in the Gibdo room, didn't take any damage, had 8 Wallmasters, boom.
Oh, without a doubt, Fury. And when you don't have a permanent weapon like either of these runners do, that boomerang could be a godsend. Ooh, nice shot to stun the Dodongo there. Fred can use the last bomb to take it down. Nice shot, so he will clear that room. Move on. Finds a key that he doesn't need. Antlerz with 10 keys. He's probably thinking the any key is going to be here in level 4, considering his situation. We already know that the magical key is in level 8.
This single Dodongo in level 7, though. Both runners tried to put a bomb on him the first time, and both times he walked straight through it and noped him.
Wow.
What a guy.
What does that Dodongo think he is? Neo Anderson from the Matrix? Unfortunately, Fred, yeah. Looks like Antlerz is going to take the warp, and unfortunately Fred taking a death in that very dangerous room here. Back to start he goes. Antlerz going to check the northeastern section of Hyrule. That's a potion shop. Antlerz doesn't have the letter.
So did he save out of 4? Is that what I'm assuming based on 10 keys?
Yes.
So did he find anything in there?
Doesn't look like he did. And I'm a little surprised he didn't go back and check out the rest of that level. I know he was kind of low on health, but I'm a little surprised he didn't finish it off considering how small level 4.
Now, I'm wondering if he got blocked by something he couldn't kill.
Could be.
Yep, he got shuttered in with Pole's voice.
And Pole's voices, well, you can't kill them unless you have the bow and arrow or the magical wand. Since neither runners have either, those Pole's voices are impervious to anything you throw at them. They're just as bad as Wizrobes. Not quite as bad, but they're just as bad as Wizrobes in their current situation.
So at this point, we've had a lot of overworld exploration. Is it almost time to call level 1 and level 5 blocked by Raft and or Power Bracelet?
I think so. I mean, we haven't found level 1, which is going to have 2 items, and we haven't found level 5 yet. And for all we know, this could be one of those chain reaction seeds where one level leads to another. Antlerz is going to check the level 2 location, which is going to be the second Recorder Lake. Wouldn't it be something if both Recorder Lakes had a level? Not this time. Instead, it's a drainage fee on that swimming pool.
I'm not sure if we've seen the southern coast yet. The bomb spots. I know we've seen a lot of... I think we've seen just about every candle burn brush.
Yep, and the level 8 is, well, he's down to half a heart now. You better believe he's in trouble because an orange dark nut does a heart of damage. Blue dark nuts do 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, so with this, I think Antlerz has checked every single flute spot on his own. And I think Fred had already checked this for the magical sword anyway, so it's...
Right you are. Now, what was the Armo statue item? Was it a heart?
Yep, we had Silver Coast, Heart, Armos, and Magic Nander White Sword.
Alright, so Antlerz is going to go ahead and pick up his silver arrow. So that's one of the 3 puzzle pieces that Antlerz needs to kill Ganon. Obviously, the other 2 things he needs is the bow and the magical rod, because normally in The Legend of Zelda, you need a sword to kill Ganon, but in Swordless, since you don't have a sword, we substitute the wand as the stabbing device for that fight. This is not a pleasant spot for Antlerz to try and bomb on the coast here, because one hit from any Dark Nut, he is out. Nice bombing there to get through. What do we find here? Just another bomb shop, which is going to go ahead and purchase some bombs.
Yeah, and whether or not this is mixed first with first hints or second hints, at this point, with how many hints are left, and the fact that they're all blocked, it's essentially a second quest hint scenario. Or
Pretty
second quest,
much.
large secret.
Right, because we've only seen the one large secret, but for all we know, the other 2 might be bomb or raft block or power bracelet block, because we've checked pretty much all of the recorder spots. So yeah, it's starting to look like that if it is a first quest mixed, and there's the 3 large secrets, we ain't gonna find them until we find some more resources. Antlerz is gonna try and get to that level 7 spot. He's successful, but unfortunately, he gets penalized.
So doing some deduction here, we have 2 items left in 8, 1 left in 7 to find, 2 left in 4, assuming that Pole's Voice room wasn't on the path to see the rest of the rooms. If it was, then we're at 0 that we can get to there. 1 item in 2, and that's kind of it.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's what I have on my cheat sheet as well, is that we have a recorder in level 2, there were 2 hearts in level 3, we haven't found anything in level 4, level 6 had a ladder and a heart, We've only found the one item in level 7. It was the wooden boomerang. We've only found the one item in level 8. That was the magical key. We have the Armo statue item being the heart container. A ladder item was the silver arrows, and our white sword item was the magical boomerang.
I'm thinking that mixed Wizrobe with the 3 red and 1 blue bubble is the Triforce room in level 7, based on what I see on Fred's side.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that, Fury. As Antlerz is going to go ahead and try again here, starting it over from where he was. And Fred's going to go for the tactics. Well, now he's gotten impatient with these Zols. He was trying to bunch them together like Antlerz was, but Fred is having none of that. Ugh. Speaking of having none of it, that's an ugly room, and Fred's saying, I'm going to up an A and go elsewhere.
Yeah, so given what we know, it's kind of more logical now to dig level 7 for its second item, or digging level 8 for one of the 2 remaining if you're Fred, or 3 remaining if you're Antlerz.
Right, and of
given
course,
that you don't have a lot of options left.
In level 2, of course, now, were we ladder blocked in level 2, or were we combat blocked?
I think it was super early, so I would guess probably that we were not blocked necessarily by anything as we stand now.
They didn't have any keys. Well, they have all the keys in the world now. Fred's got the magical key. Antlerz has a whopping 10.
Yeah, we could have been key blocked, bomb blocked, combat blocked. It was all in the first 10 minutes of the seed, really, for both runners, given how easy it was to access.
That kind of
Fred's
makes
still
you
hunting
wonder. That kind of makes you wonder why Antlerz wouldn't finish off the rest of level 2. It's a short enough dungeon. It wasn't a Wizrobe set, was it?
Again, first 10 minutes, I don't think so.
A lot of super ropes, and of course super ropes rolled maximum. They normally have 4 HP, and they rolled +4, so it's 8 HP ropes.
Yep, they're called nope ropes for a reason.
Antlerz going back into level 8 now. And remember, he didn't find any of the 3 items.
Yeah, he's gonna find the one item he probably doesn't want to see at this point in the seed first, most likely, if he clears that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he left it behind, considering his key situation, but we'll see, as Fred finds a heart container here in level 7. So that was the second item. Oh, so Fred, unfortunately, his gamble doesn't pay off.
Yeah, yes and no. I'll give the yes and no just because we know that we have some Leave Your Heart rooms still coming up here.
True, that's going to help him out when he gets to level 6.
Certainly not what you wanted to see after digging all of level 7, but once he gets there, he'll be okay with the fact that he at least went to pick it up. And to answer the question on Antler's side, even with 10 keys, it's really about a 15-second investment. There's not a lot of seeds that are going to come down to one mistake, and that one mistake being that 7 to 15-second gap.
That is
so
true.
I would pick it up.
The odds are unlikely. That is true. I mean, we have had races come down to 10 seconds in the past. I don't know if we've had anything like that so far happen in the All Boards No Swords tournament, but Antlerz knows who he's going up against in Fred Coughlin. He knows that every second counts, so we'll see what he has in mind when he does make that play and when he does find that magical key.
Now, to answer your question, chat, with what we're playing now is All Boards No Swords, meaning neither runner gets a sword. So what Antlerz is doing in this room is he's getting the boomerang to stun all of these Tektites up so that he can clear the room in fewer resources. And by doing so, he can check this staircase and still have 6 bombs left for the rest of the exploration past it. But you really have to resource manage your bombs when you don't have a sword and you haven't found a wand or red candle yet.
And another thing you got to keep in mind is they're not going to be able to afford a blue ring because it's not a poverty seed, but this has really been a money-starved seed for both of these runners here, because if this is a first quest mixed overworld like we believe it is, we believe that the other 2 large secrets are blocked in some kind of fashion.
It looks like Antlerz is trying to take on the nope ropes here. It's It's a little difficult to get them all stunned up with one boomerang. Whew. Man,
That was
rope was...
close. Well, the good news is that room is cleared. The bad news is he's down to half a heart, and he gets hit from anything as he finds his any key. He's not going to take any chances. He's going to go ahead and pick up that potion. Now that he's spent the last of his potion, does he go back to the graveyard and pick up the letter now?
Does he do it now with 33 rupees? Probably not. Does he do it before too long? I guess it kind of depends on how your route takes you.
Right.
And if you get the red ring.
Yep. And there's the Triforce for Fred here in level 6, and he went through Mugger Alley as well. He's down to 4 hearts, but he is now up to 5 Triforce pieces. If he goes back, he'll get the ladder, and he is going back, so Fred making a good decision here. He'll get the ladder, which will enable him to get those silver arrows.
Yeah, but with the 3 muggers in play, just kind of poking fun at the fact that we started with 2 hearts, you had to pay all 3 muggers. So you're down to a total of 12 hearts if you take hearts from every single take any one. And they've each taken a potion, so 11 cap on your heart containers. For the...
That is absolutely gross, Fury. But that is the nature of the Zelda randomizer. We do shuffle our starting hearts in these rounds. Your starting hearts can be anywhere between a single heart and 5 hearts. That is also your starting heart value every time you up an A. Unfortunately, Antlerz missing on that Stalfos there.
Yeah. A little bit more patience here, I think. Just boomerang that Stalfos.
Ooh, these are kind of beefy Landmolas here. Another enemy that ate their Chef Boyardee, and Fred's trying his best to clear one of them, because you clear one, you can clear them both when you leave the room. Nice shot. Finds a fairy. A little dangerous there, because Sprite likes to lead you to death, but luckily for Fred, that was not the case this time.
Hey, he's gonna be real mad when he finds this staircase leads right back to the other one.
Yeah, he's not gonna find his ladder here. That's gonna be the transport staircase.
So, unfortunately, what I think Fred's doing is he took damage there on purpose. He's gonna get his count built to 9, and he's gonna bomb the buyer. And then he's gonna be even more frustrated, because buyers roll high.
Yep, he's not gonna like what he sees when he tries to bomb that buyer.
So really, the question becomes, is level 8 the answer, or is level 2 the answer, given what we know so far? Because if it's level 8, Antlerz, I feel at this point, is going to start having an exploration advantage over Fred.
Absolutely, and right now the odds favor Antlerz because of what we know. Now, of course, we don't forget, we still have the 2 items in level 4 that we never found. Whether or not we have access to them, that remains to be seen. But let's throw level 4 out of the equation. If level 4 has just peanuts in there, and the play is between level 2 and level 8, it's a 2 in 3 chance that Antlerz is going to find something very valuable here in level 8. So yeah, this seems to be the right play, but again, we'll know in due time.
Oh, hey. On top of Super Virus, we have Super Keys under Super Virus.
Oh my
HP.
Goodness gracious. That is absolutely gross.
Now, if it's any consolation, Fred should be able to check the other transport staircase, because I believe is one of the open staircases that we're going to find in the seed. If he checks that, then he'll realize he really doesn't have to do anything else in that room, and it's going to be somewhere in the north that he has to go through the double mugger. And I think once he finds the ladder past 2 muggers, he'll be okay with his situation, because there's always a chance your opponent's probably not going to pay that early on, so you may have had a little window of opportunity.
Antlerz finds himself in the broken triple bar room, but there is no push block here. Thankfully, his boomerang will take down these keys. Antlerz thinking about it, and he's deciding no, he's not going to take that transport staircase, and he's not going to up an A either, so he's looking at his map to figure out which way he needs to go. Fred, unfortunately, coming out of level 6 without the ladder.
For now, I do think once he does a couple more overall checks just to confirm there's nothing else up here, he will eventually have to venture back there. So it's not something I think that'll cripple his chances of winning the seed for sure.
No, not at all. Right now, to me, it's anybody's game at this point. I mean, clearly we are missing a vital piece of the seed that's going to open it up for both of our runners, and Antlerz is hoping that level 8 is the solution.
Yeah, these should be the last of the overworld checks on Fred's side, so only 1 or 2 caves away from having the same information that Antlerz has, minus the lap.
Absolutely, and here we are in this diagonal block room, and oh no! I sure hope that triple Dodongo room is not required.
It's only required... no, it's not. It's never required. It was shuttered, so we know it's not a staircase, and it's a dark room, so...
Thank goodness for that. This room potentially might have something, this single block room with these Stalfos, but Antler's going to have to be careful here because of them shooting those Lionel Beam-like swords, just like Lionel's do. You lose 2 hearts every time you get hit by them, so you gotta be careful. They did roll their vanilla value at 2 HP.
Yep, there's not a whole lot left in this dungeon that could really be frustrating to find. I think the worst case scenario is the book at this point, and anything else can kind of open up combat.
Yeah, Red Candle even can. You've got the wand. It's probably going to be the big find for Antlerz. Power Bracelet or Raft, that could be a big find that could lead to progression here. There's a staircase, but that's a transport. And Antlerz not seeing anything that he can do here, but he's going to use a bomb to the left. It's a whammy. How about to the north? Nothing. So unfortunately, Antlerz losing 2 bombs there, and it proved to be fruitless.
He's trying to clear every single room in this, like, double stack, if you want to call it, of level 8. And he's going to backtrack through a whole lot of rooms instead of taking the staircase. It's kind of one of those, if you take staircases, it hurts you. If you don't take staircases, it hurts you.
Yep.
Whichever you decide to do doesn't work out in the end.
Danged if you do, danged if you don't.
Now this is an interesting setup. Does he... No, he's not going to use his bombs in that room. And there is a block there too, so is he going to go the right here and, I guess, take the staircase now? I don't think he has much choice.
Yeah, it would appear to be that way. Unfortunately for Antlerz, he is 40 rupees short of purchasing that bomb upgrade. The price is anywhere between 75 and 125 rupees, and you get anywhere between 2 and 6 extra bombs. It's a possible play that Antlerz or Fred could come back for later. Personally, I don't see it, but I've seen stranger things happen in randomizer races. So now Antlerz will go ahead and take that staircase. As we can see on Fred's side, he still has both of his potions intact, and unfortunately, that happened to be a one-way staircase that leads him into, well, it can't be a dead end. That would be very cruel, so there's got to be a way out of here somewhere. The problem is he's only got 1 bomb left.
I bomb right.
He's bombing right, and he's able to get out, thankfully. Oh, a bullseye on Manhandla, but guess what? It's Super Manhandla today. was a very impressive fight there from Fred, but he is down to his last half a heart. He's going to have to be very careful. One more hit from anything, he's gone. This is an ugly room for Antlerz to try and do wits with these Stalfos.
Well, feast from a rose here.
That was some nice patience there. Antlerz not taking any damage from those Stalfos, but Fred taking a death here in level 6. Luckily, those orange Tektites go down with the boomerang swipe, so that's nice. And good news for Antlerz, he'll do it again. Three HP Wallmasters, they go down. Now he's just waiting for the bubbles to clear. And he's going to have to go around them somehow so that he doesn't go to half speed. Then it is a push block room. Look out, here comes that red bubble. Ooh, nicely safe there. He's trying to do the swordless block clip here, which is easier said than done. He gets it, and what do we find? The wand!
And now it's no contest who has the lead, and it's going to be tough for Fred to find that wand, I think, at level 8, given how deep it was.
Oh, man, that's a massive find there for Antlerz as Fred finds his ladder out of level 6. Now, we still have one item left to go here in level 8. It is the floor item. So right now, the only thing that's stopping Antlerz is progression, because again, we don't know where levels 1 and 5 are, but we believe they're either going to be Power Bracelet and or Raft blocked. So he still needs to find progression. For all we know, it could be the drop item here in level 8.
Yeah, I think given how much he's cleared, he's probably going to try and clear as many rooms as possible before finding the Triforce. But if he finds the Triforce on his path, they'll kind of complete the path and give up on it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that here. Problem is, Antlerz is back to 0 bombs again. As we find Zelda's room, and I guess that seafood dinner that Zelda had tonight was a little bit too much for her.
I don't know if Fred saw the heart container in there because he's down to 5 hearts. I think he was at 6 when he entered, so my guess is yes, he found the heart container, so he's got both items. That Goma in Zelda's room really isn't that effective.
Antlerz does pick up the Triforce out of level 8. He is out of there. He now has all of the even-numbered Triforces to his name.
Yeah, and he's making a beeline, it looks like, for the blue ring shop, so I'm gonna guess that the Pole's voice is probably in the way in level 4.
That's probably a safe assumption there, Fury. And with the wand, he'll be able to do damage by using the tip of that magical rod. You can't do long-range attacks with Pole's voices, or some of the other enemies for that matter, like Dark Nuts and other enemies as well. But if you use the tip of the wand, you'll be able to do damage. Of course, Ganon, same thing. You have to use the tip of that magical rod to do damage. You try and do a long-range attack, it will not work.
Can we talk about this Chevy room with Pole's voice for a second?
Well, each of these Pole's voices represents a different model of Chevy vehicle that they'd like to own someday.
I mean, it's okay when you have the wand, but earlier when he didn't have the wand, he had to navigate that room to get the Triforce, and then again, if he died at any point past the Pole's voice, you'd have to clear it again over and over again. That's just not easy to do, because they're just hopping all over the
It seemed like those Pole's voices rolled low in HP because it seemed like it didn't take that many wand strikes to take him down. Pole's voices have, what is it, 10 HP? I want to say they might have rolled -4.
Now, certainly one less, and yeah, it definitely was blocked off. This room's double shut.
Right, so yep, you have to have some kind of weapon to take down these Pole's voices in order to progress to those lower 5 rooms. Fred now back into that same level 4, but unfortunately, while he'll be able to get the Triforce, unfortunately he does take a death in that Chevy room. He'll be able to get the Triforce, but he's not going to be able to get either of the 2 items, and potentially our item could be behind this double block room filled with these Gibdos. With this one, it's going to make them down. It's going to make it even easier with that clock drop. Antlerz will take no further damage in this room and gets a bomb drop that he desperately needed. Well, here's one of the 2 items here in level 4. We have got the power bracelet.
Yep, with 4 rooms left, though, he's got to go ahead and check for the floor item. Can't leave it sitting.
No doubt about it, because if it's the raft, and that's required too, Antlerz is going to be very close to set.
Yeah, it just depends on how long it takes Fred to get back into level 8 with 2 items outstanding there. I think maybe he goes to level 2 first, and that'll hurt a little bit unless that's...
Oh, look at this! We've got Jewelry Fury SK. Antlerz' defense has quadrupled. His damage is now down to 1/4 the base value. Yeah, Antlerz right now in a very favorable spot here in this race.
Yep, now all he needs is a red bubble, and he's absolutely, truly lunk. Tank mode, slow, everything.
My goodness gracious. This, man, everything coming up Antlerz these last 5 minutes here. And Antlerz now going to go back to, I believe, what this is, level 2? 3.
3.
Okay, so we know that there are 2 heart containers in level 3. Antlerz, of course, doesn't know that, but he'll be able to get his Triforce, and he'll pick up 2 hearts in the process if he hasn't done so already. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. This is where the Triforce was in the horizontal shoot room, so he may have already gotten his hearts.
Yeah, he has both hearts out of here, has not found the Triforce, but it's in the chute through that key door, so it shouldn't take him too awful long to find it. Now, I'll say this, barring a bow in level 8, I think it's going to be real hard for Fred to get back into this. If the bow and the wand are in level 8, that can certainly change a few things. Or if the raft's in there and that somehow blocks a dungeon, but I think that's probably the lesser of the evils, because then at least Antlerz will know he needs the raft in short order.
Yeah, right now, Antlerz in a, again, very highly favorable position right now. But yeah, that's the only thing right now that can save Fred, in my opinion, is that level 8 has either the raft or the bow, and it's required, let's say the raft, and we do have power bracelet required finally one of the dungeons. What level could this be? 1 or 5?
Odds are pretty early here that it's 5.
So 5 will have the transport staircase and then the item staircase as well. Papers, please. I have no papers because Antlerz, remember, didn't pick up the paper from the graveyard. Now here's a push block. Will this be the transport or the item? It's the item, and it's one of the heart containers.
Yep, gonna take the time with all the leave your hearts that he's had to pay to go ahead and get back to 7, just because Wizrobes will be in level.
There are 3 hearts remaining in the shuffle out of those 9. Antlerz unfortunately getting swallowed up by a like, but thankfully he's got that red ring. So instead of losing a full heart, he's only going to take a 1/4 heart of damage as he finds a bomb drop. And Fred gets the Triforce out of level 4. So that's his 6th Triforce piece, but again, he still trails in this match. Fred is going back. Was this level 2?
Yep.
Okay, so level 2, again, has another piece of the puzzle that we haven't quite figured out. Antlerz already has the Triforce out of level 2. Now, if there's a bow here in level 2, things could potentially get interesting.
Yet we're not quite at the point of no return with this seed. Until we see that bow and where it's at, it's going to be hard to call Antlerz a absolute winner at this point.
No, it's never over until it's over. And of course, we still have level 9 left to go, and we call it the Great Equalizer for a reason. We've already seen a lot of massive comebacks happen in this tournament alone. where we've seen runners be down by several minutes, several Triforce pieces, and they've come all the way back to take it away in level 9. So it's definitely not over yet until that dot done is registered.
Yeah, with it being second quest, we've seen only a handful of comebacks in second quest. I think there's only been 3 so far. But still, they do exist.
Yep, absolutely. Unless we forget, we had what I've seen, at least personally, the biggest comeback in Zelda Randomizer history when Crystal Saber had that 32-minute second quest level 9 comeback. But you're right. Normally, level 2 in second quest, level 9 in second quest, rather, much more tame than first quest level 9 is. There is the Triforce here for Antlerz in level 5, but he's not going to pick it up yet. He's looking for the floor drop. He knows he still needs a bow.
Yep. I think we had 2 equally devastating situations in second quest. Now I forget who HN played in his seed, but he was significantly behind in the first, I think, bracket round that he played, and managed to come back.
Sorry, but look at the game just taunting Fred with that "good luck, we're all counting to 10" message.
Well, I mean, he's the one that put it in there, so it's...
He's taunting him, so he's pretty much... Ooh, that's a full clear right there. He's cleared everything on that map, and I think that wand is required to get the item out of level 2.
Yep. Wouldn't it be funny if that was... Oh, the red candle in level 5, so that's not the answer. Wouldn't it be funny if the bow was blocked by the wand in level 2?
Yeah. So, Antlerz decides not to pick up the red candle. Difference between the blue candle and the red candle. With the blue candle, you can only fire it once on the screen. If you want to use it again, gotta go to another screen. With the red candle, you can use it on the screen you are on indefinitely, but only 2 shots on the screen at a time. Because Antlerz already has a permanent weapon in the magical wand, the red candle is pretty much superseded. Of course, if I was playing this, considering red candle's my personal favorite item, I still would have picked it up.
So where is level 1?
Yep, that is the 64,000 rupee question, Fury. Fred going back into level 3. I guess he didn't get both of the heart containers that Antlerz got. Antlerz checking the power bracelet spot. That's not where level 1 is. That's just a potion shop. So it looks like Antlerz is going to check the power bracelet spot in the northwestern region of Hyrule, right here in this pyramid room, but there is no push block here. No, he just missed it. That's not where level 1 is either. Instead, that's going to be a medium secret for 29. He's up to 138 rupees, so all of a sudden he's rich. Actually, look at the numbers. He's got exactly twice as much money as Fred.
Yep, the question is how many more power bracelet spots does he have left? Because we know one's a take any road.
Well, I believe you've got the second quest level 4 location. I don't think he has checked at the coast, or rather the fairy fountain spot. So, and then of course there's the Lost Hills, which he's going to check right now. Is there a level 1 here? No. More money. Another small secret for 11. Ooh! I think that's at least 5 small secrets, so I'm starting to think this is second quest physics when it comes to money.
Yep, that was the 5th small. This is second quest money.
So even though it was first quest for, the level 5 and level 3 and whatnot, I guess that this might have been a mixed... with a lot of second spot. Adaginos was talking about that in chat, is Antlerz are going to check this spot, and here's level 1.
Yep, this is definitely a mixed quest overall with second quest secrets, so...
which also means there would have been 10 door repair penalties. Antlerz isn't even going to bother picking up the map. He knows this is level 1, so there's going to be 3 items. Push B, select in backwards. Where's that from, I wonder? I swear I've seen that in some game. And there's the book. Antlerz picks it up. Not sure if he really wanted to pick up that book because that does act as an atlas, but it's going to hinder his wand a little bit because now when he fires with the wand, it's going to burst into flames. It can deal extra damage to some enemies, like, say, Gibdos, maybe these Maldorms, but it's more of a hindrance than a help. So you're generally going to see runners avoid the book, even with these flags. There's the Triforce in level 1, but he doesn't want it. He's looking for the other 2 items.
Yeah, chat's kind of mentioning it now, but I think it's B select is Final Fantasy 1. I think that brings up the overworld map slowly, doesn't it?
Something like that. Antlerz able to avoid the red bubble, the Triforce as well. He's still looking for the 2 other items in here. Finds a heart container, so that's 2 items. He has found the 2 tougher ones, so now he just needs to find the staircase and he'll be done. There's 2 hearts left in the shuffle. And there's the raft. We know it's not required, so Antlerz is going to leave it behind. Which means the bow, right now, it's one of 3 possibilities. Number 1, it's the second item in level 2. Number 2, it's in level 9. Or number 3, it's the last item in level 8, and it's that floor item.
Well, if you're rooting for a close finish, you have somebody in said level 8 right now looking for some items.
Right now, the odds are it's a 50-50 chance that the bow is in level 9. There are still 2 heart containers left in the shuffle as well. Now Antlerz going back into level 6. Nope, that's the wrong level. I think he wanted level 7 because he still needs the Triforce out of that dungeon.
And I don't believe he saw the heart container on the floor in 7 either, so he may be digging.
Yeah, that... And, you know, you can't fault Antlerz for digging. He wants to try and eliminate as many possibilities as he can. And Antlerz will go back to level 7 to get the Triforce and maybe dig out the second item. Again, we know that the second item is the heart container.
You're definitely going to need a handful of bombs to be able to get the Triforce out of 7 too, so that's something to keep in mind. You can't use his wand to clear the Wizrobes.
And not at all. Because as I like to say, the only way you can lay a finger on Wizrobes is bombs. Otherwise, they're just going to be going around in circles in the rooms saying, nah, 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 you can't touch me.
You mean I can't shout in my controller?
Right, that doesn't work for Wizrobes.
Unfortunately, gets hit by the red bubble too on his way to this room.
So there are 4 items left in play, and for all we know, don't forget that the White Sword bombs are part of that shuffle. For all we know, that may have been the second item in level 2, or it may have been the third item in level 8. Because the only other items that are left in that shuffle, Fury SK, is there's 2 heart containers. The bombs, obviously, is the hardest one to pick up, because there's no way of telling between the item bombs and a floor drop bomb. So, for all we know, the bombs may have been in 2 or 8. As Antlerz does get the Triforce out of level 7, and I gotta believe, given his odds, he's gonna go to level 9 right now and try and find that bow.
Well, for me, if I'm in his shoes, there's 2 options. You're either going back to level 2 to clear out that Pulse Voice room, or you're going to level 9 and just hoping the bows.
Now, Antlerz looks like he is hightailing it to level 9. He's got plenty of money. Again, he doesn't go after the letter that was in the graveyard, so you won't be able to refill his health or rid himself of a red bubble curse. But Antlerz in pretty good shape. He's got the red ring, which is essentially the equivalent of 32 hearts. So he's going to be looking for the bow here in level 9 coming up. So, Fury, what's Antlerz going to be looking for in addition to the bow?
Well, he's really just going to be listening for the roar of Ganon, and he's likely to be looking for a shutter door that doesn't open unless he's somehow found his bow and taken Ganon down.
Yep, and of course, you know about the single shutter door room. If he full clears that room and it doesn't open, that is the location of where Zelda is. We don't talk about the 3 old men because community hints are on. No helpful hints here in level 9. And of course, we've got our first Patra Wayne sighting, and of course, we do have the walkthrough walls in Second Quest level 9. Now, Second Quest level 9, not nearly as many staircases as First Quest level 9, or as many rooms for that matter. There's only the 2 sets of transport staircases, there's 2 item staircases, and then there's the one-way staircase.
I think what makes this play a lot more logical is, as you mentioned, we have a White Sword bomb pack somewhere, and the only 2 drops outside of level 9 are floor drops, which makes it real hard to determine whether or not you've actually cleared level 8's 3 items or level 2's 2nd item.
You know, I think Fred, if there's a way, should find a distinction of like tinting the bomb color different to give both the commentators and runners an idea of which is, you know, normal bombs that you can pick up and which are the actual White Sword bombs. So that way it would make it easier both for the runners and for the commentators. Well, and for the viewers at home, of course. Unfortunately, that Goma room is a red herring. Nothing there.
Oh man, Fred is just getting smacked around this level 8.
And Catastrophe making a good point as making it just stair items, or making it either, you know, the White Sword item, you know, the ladder item, the coast, the Armo statue item, White Sword item that's in the cave, and staircase item, but never a floor drop item. You know, that's a possibility. Anyways, back to the race at hand. Antlerz trying to take down this Patra, and again, luckily for him, he's got that red ring. So instead of losing 2 hearts every time he gets popped, he only loses half a heart, but he still has all of his health intact. That was a pretty good Patra fight there from Antlerz. There's another turnstile room that Antlerz has to negotiate with a walk-through wall. Just an absolutely nasty room, and Antlerz wants no part of those blue wizards, so he'll up an A and try a different path.
Yeah, we at least know it's not Zelda because you could walk up in the room 1 column to the right, so that's good knowledge.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to try to clear that room trying to discover where Zelda is. There's got to be better ways, as that's one of the transport staircases for Antlerz. He won't take it for now.
Hey.
Ooh. Zelda is under the E, so Zelda not doing a very good job in the hide-and-seek department tonight. It looks like Ganon is going to win this contest, or still needs to find the bow. Again, right now it's a 50-50 chance, but I think it's more than a 50% chance that it's in level 9. Again, because of the bombs still being in play, that, again, it's either, if it's not in level 9, it's going to be in 2 or 8. Look at this! He's found the bow! Wow!
Yeah, it's hard not to declare him the winner at this point. Bow in hand in level 9, really just too little too late that Fred's going to be able to do, even if he finds this wand in the late.
There's absolutely no question about it. As I like to say, Antlerz right now, in the catbird seat, just needs to find where Ganon is, and he is a pig and a princess away from taking a 1-0 lead in the bonus bracket semifinals.
And while he's navigating his way up looking for Ganon, gotta give a shout out to our restreamer, Lord of the Synth, because we had nobody to restream this as Fred found his wand just now, as of like an hour before the race, and he came in, saved the day, allowed us to put on a restream for everybody, and kind of showcase these two runners.
Absolutely. Please make sure you give him a follow as well as our two runners. But ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon in a Chevy room, no less. So we're looking for anywhere between 6 and 8 hits with the wand. A Hyrule driver will cost him 1 heart. It'll be tough to get the stun lock here in this Chevy room. He's got 1 hit. There's 2. 3. We took a Hyrule driver there, but he does not have any more potions, so he's going to have to be perfect. There's 4. Unfortunately, Ganon teleports the wrong way. 5, 6, 7. Got him! Nicely done for Antlerz. Gonna get the Triforce of Power. We've got Bacon. So Antlerz just needs to find the direct path to Zelda, just a couple rooms away, and Antlerz will take a 1-0 lead in this best of 3 bonus bracket semifinals. He's gonna go up here. If there is a shutter door, he is going to win. There it is! Get your GGs out for Antlerz. He has won game number 1 and is just 1 win away from advancing to the bonus bracket finals. And again, please make sure you give both Antlerz and Fred Coughlin a follow for their fine work in tonight's race, as well as my commentator partner, Fury SK, who did a fantastic job. And again, special thanks for filling in the first 15 minutes when I was unavailable. And hey, you may be facing Antlerz in the next round, potentially, depending on what happens in Game 2.
Yeah, we won't know just yet who I face. It'll either be a rematch with Antlerz from earlier on this tournament, or it'll be the one and only creator.
For those of you who wanted to play Name That Tune, I certainly wouldn't have gotten this. That was Nitro Man from Mega Man 10, which is one of the more recent Mega Man games in the series. Fred finds the power bracelet. Now he's starting to realize what has opened up the sea, because he did find that wand in level 8. Now he's found the power bracelet in 4, which will open up 1 and 5 for him.
Yeah,
so it looks like he's going to...
It's not going to take him long to really figure out the sea from here. I think that's why he's going to probably play it out.
Yeah, he's going to turn on the afterburners, and he's trying to... Man! Oh, the superior model betrays Fred Coughlin as he's unable to pick up that nickel, but he is going to get the jewelry here in level 4.
That's what really made the sea particularly bad and kind of linear in design is you had no defense and you had no offense available to you at all until you found the wand in level 8. You had to basically dig your way through 2 mugger rooms to get the ladder to be able to potentially even get to the wand in level 8. That's a lot of asks on combat, at least.
Yeah, definitely, because, again, this was a second quest money distribution seed where you just had the 1 large secret, the 6 small secrets, and the 7 medium secrets. And considering that you pretty much had average money across the board, nobody was buying that blue ring. And with that, we do have our Game 1 winner in the commentator's booth with us. Antlerz, congratulations. Very well played race. It came down to one thing, the play in level 8. Finding that wand pretty much opened up the rest of the seed for you.
Hey, thanks guys. Yeah, I was That one was kind of a roller coaster. I wasn't feeling too great about it until I full cleared the overworld and saw that either my offense was in level 8, in level 7, or in level 2. I had it narrowed down to those 3 dungeons, and I only had a floor item in level 7 and 1 item in level 2, so I decided to go with the higher percentage play there, and really
what
worked
was
out.
what was the floor item in level 8?
I never found it.
No one did. The only items that are left in play on my ledger is a couple of heart containers and the bombs. Of course, we were talking about how the bombs is the hardest one to detect, especially if it's the floor item.
I found the white sword bombs somewhere. I can't remember.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the white sword bombs were, I think, a staircase item.
No, I don't have that as a staircase.
Yeah, it's odd. I distinctly remember finding the white sword bombs.
You might have been. Maybe you were thinking of the magical sword bombs.
No, because I know I didn't pick those up.
Right. Now it's irrelevant at this point, but I kind of made a point during the commentary that I'd like to see maybe if there's a way for Fred to either put the bombs only in staircases, or is it, you know, the Armos item, the ladder item, the coast, the white sword item, as opposed to the floor drop, or if there's a way he can find a way to like give the white sword bombs a different color that lets, you know, both the runner, the viewers at home, and the commentators know which bombs they're dealing with. But I guess that's part of the randomizer fun, is to keep the runners guessing about which bombs they're picking up.
Right, I was gonna say, what's the fun in that?
True. I guess it can't always be easy peasy lemon squeeze, but I'll tell you what, you certainly made this difficult seed look relatively easy. I mean, it was tough getting into progression. It came down to who found level 8 first and who would dig. And you made the play to dig level 8. And, I mean, Fred tried, but that did not end up being his first play. And you getting that one much quicker than Fred did definitely ended up being the difference.
Yeah, no, there was not much that easy about this seed. I guess the enemy set wasn't terrible, but still, having your only offense forced real deep in 8. Like, I got really lucky that was the staircase that it was, because if not, I was probably going to go to level 2 at that point, because I was completely out of bombs. I was probably going to pick up the Triforce and go to level 2.
Yeah, bombs were an issue for you for a lot of that race, and I only found the one bomb upgrade. I believe you found it, but you didn't have the rupees, obviously, to purchase it. Yeah, resources were definitely an issue for a majority of this race. I mean, keys were not an issue at all for either one of you. Fred found the magical key first. Yeah, he did find the magical key first, but could not find that second staircase before you did, as Fred finds the Triforce out of level 5, and finding the one, that pretty much was the deciding factor in this race, because Fred's turned on those afterburners.
Yeah, honestly, the keys were not an issue at all. That's maybe kind of foreshadowing from the hash of the seed. It was the any key and 2 keys, or 2 regular keys, but I mean, I had 10 keys when I found the any key, so I was like, oh great, that's just what I want.
Never fails when you are holding a plethora of keys. The game likes to throw that any key at you.
Exactly. I almost didn't pick it up out of spite.
Yeah, we were suggesting that potentially as well. I said, if with this many keys, I wouldn't be surprised, knowing who his opponent is, that, and knowing that every second could count, that he doesn't pick up the any key. But you decided to do so, and, you know, it didn't end up mattering, because you ended up winning, and winning big.
Yeah, I mean, if I was, like, in Triforce and Go mode at that point, maybe I wouldn't have picked it up, but that was just kind of sour grapes for me. There's not many situations where I wouldn't pick up that any key, even if I had, like, 15 keys, just in case, because you just never know. Like, if you have the any key, you just don't even have to think about it, and you don't have to pick up keys that are on.
Sorry, but Fred just burned the map in level 1.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. The one was the last dungeon I found, so
same for Fred.
Okay, so he's found 5 then.
Correct. He just got the Triforce out of level 5, and he's burning the book as well.
Yeah, that's actually one of the rare situations where I wouldn't have actually picked up that book.
It was, it was unfortunate. It was right on your feet, and you didn't really have much time to react to it, and it happens. But luckily, it didn't really hinder you that much.
Right. I'm a real big proponent of the book, more than a lot of people. The Wandfire doesn't really bother me that much, especially when you've got Red Ring. So I just, I usually just pick it up, but like with 1 being my last dungeon and then, hightailing it to 9, I actually wasn't going to pick it up for once, and of course that's the time that I get Y-booked into it.
Yep, absolutely here. So Fred's trying to complete the rest of level 1. Again, he's only going to find a heart container and a raft as his other 2 items. Bo being in level 9. It was a good percentage play. We were down to 4 items, at least 4 known items. I mean, for all we know, bombs were probably either in 2 or 8, and the heart container was probably the second item in level 9 if I had to take a stab at it. Yeah, I must say, you played extremely well, so congratulations. You're just 1 win away from moving on to the bonus bracket finals against Fury SK, and you'll be in the final 3.
Yeah, that's exciting, but this series is certainly nowhere close to over. Fred could easily come back and just spank me the second and the third game.
Yeah, that's true, because look what happened with the, I think the best example I can come up with is look at what happened in the Crystal Saver Captain Green match. Crystal Saver taking game number 1, we're thinking, oh, he's heading for another 2-0 sweep, and Captain Green puts on one heck of a display and wins 2 in a row, including a very close one to beat him in that second win, that third race.
Yeah, Captain Green's an amazing player. He's really, really good at these hard flags, especially these really difficult ones. He had a rough couple seeds that would have given anybody fits, but make no mistake, he definitely he would have been just as scary to go up against as Fred.
Fred about to find the raft here in level 1. He knows it's not going to be required. Is he going to burn it? No, he's not even going to pick it up. Well, he was burning in the direction towards the raft, but I think more than anything, he was probably just trying to burn a keys.
A symbolic burn.
I probably would have done the same thing. Unfortunately, he gets hit by a red bubble, but luckily, right next to the Triforce Hill, he'll get all of his speed back. So with that, Fred will be able to go into level 9. He'll be able to find his bow, and he still has a shot at being this in under 2 hours. Which, in a race like this, with these particular settings, that's a pretty respectable time.
Yeah, I mean, especially forcing you deep into level 8 to get your only repeatable offense.
Here we are in level 9, so we'll see how long it takes for Fred to solve this puzzle. Again, we know that the bow is here, behind one of the staircases, and Fred's just going to try and get through as many rooms as he possibly can.
And I'll be right back with you, just in case you were going to ask me anything else.
And Fred's going to find the other item in level 9. Turns out that's the heart container. So, we were right. My speculation was 100% correct on that second item, and Fred wants no part of it.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and dig the second item, though, because what we were already talking about with White Sword bombs being a floor.
Yep, we now know that the White Sword bombs were a floor drop, either in level 2 or level 8, which means the other heart container would have been in level 2 or level 8 as well. So, Fred now trying to find where the bow is. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in this room. We had seen Antlerz check early, and it proved to be fruitless. And of course, I gotta say it, Furious K, I don't always get the clock. But when I do, it's after I've killed the last enemy in a tough row. Stay fighting, my friends.
One of my favorite community hints, too, is last enemy has the clock.
Yeah, it's pretty darn true, that's for sure. And that, my friends, is the most interesting Gibdo in the world.
It's a bit of a trolling spot for that bow, too. It's kind of stuck down there on its own past the staircase, so if you take the staircase, you're in for a long ride.
Absolutely. And now Fred is going to go up against this Patra. You did a really good job on that Patra here in this room that Fred's in right now.
I like that both of them kind of took the chances, though, fighting predominantly early on from the right, given the entry point, because if you hit from the right and you hit the wrong way, it's turns into a bit of a mess.
Pretty darn good fight from Fred's end as well, as he's found himself in that turnstile room. Did a really good job in the dark.
Yeah, guess what his reward is, though?
It's going to be blue whiz robes. That was a room that you immediately up an A and tried to find a different path. Fred has not found the company.
Yeah, you can't go left through a bomb wall because that's unfortunately Zelda's room, so kind of pinch into going down a room or a level.
Yeah, when I was walking into this room, I just knew it was going to be a magic staircase up to the top left ear, because I had already seen the right side, like you said.
Now Fred knows exactly where Zelda is, so Zelda losing both times in the hide-and-seek department, that's very rare for her, so a little bit of a cold streak tonight.
Well, to be fair, Ganon kind of cheated and put a compass in a very easy-to-get-to spot.
You're right, Ganon did cheat, so it's all null and void. Fred finds this staircase, but that's going to be a transport staircase, and Fred saying no. Now, there's a reason why we call her the Ice Queen, that's for sure, Hyperstrike. Now, Fred, gonna check this room, but I don't believe... Was this the room?
No, I thought it was right at the chin of Ganon.
Yeah.
Basically next to the entry door.
Yeah, this is not gonna be easy, considering that Fred's currently on half speed.
Yeah, this is not an unsurprising kind of situation for the seed.
And unfortunately for Fred, Wizrobes are the dominant enemy in this room. With only 4 bombs, yeah.
With a lot of these E8 seeds, you have a very slow and kind of painstaking start that has to kind of take the long route into getting to combat.
Oh, Fred whiffs on the last bomb.
Well, if he goes back to star, it's a blessing.
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately, these red bubbles are manhandling him. He's hoping for bombs from these moblins, but of course, when you're sitting on 0 bombs, game doesn't provide.
Oh, that's spoiler, though. Come on.
Come on, old man. We've heard that one before.
Well, he did take the up in A. If he doesn't find a blue bubble room soon, I'd be compelled just to burn a potion.
And he's going to up an A, and what's his decision going to be? He's going to take a different path. He's got no bombs left.
I think he's farming, actually.
Oh, yeah, of course. He's trying to get that lucky candy bomb from the global. Again, it's either on the 1, the 6, or the 8. And there we go. We got ourselves some bombs.
Yeah, his blue moblin HP was nice this seed. Also, there is a bomb shop just a few screens southeast of here, too, in the desert. So I was tempted to go buy bombs, but I decided not to, and I didn't end up having.
unfortunately, he's not going to go down right away. I think that was the easy way to get through this. Unfortunately, he doesn't know that, so he's going to go left and kind of... Oh, gonna get stuck doing the runaround.
It's easy to play this game from the commentator's booth, and it's also easy when you've already played the seed. I mean, you can't fault Fred for making the decisions he's making. We call level 9 the great equalizer for a reason.
Yeah, unless I'm dumb and this was the bow, which could be, but...
Nope, you were right, it's not. And Fred's gonna go ahead and take this staircase. We'll see if it's the other side of a transport, or if it's the one-way. No, that's another side of a transport.
We might get to see what the second item is.
It was the heart container.
Oh, he already found it?
He found that first, yep.
Gotcha. I didn't have the restream pulled up until a couple minutes ago.
So the other heart container was in 2 or 8. That's 8 accounted for in my ledger.
Let's see if he ups and A's here. There's not a whole lot left he can do up here.
Pretty solid Patra fight there from Fred. Tell you what, the Patra center rolled high on HP. Another beefy enemy.
Luckily, the outer heads rolled kind of low, so that was nice. I'm always more concerned with the outer head HP really than the center.
Oh yeah, easily. Oh, look at that! Fred getting another bomb drop from the blue moblins. Amazing.
He had to work for it. That Wizrobe was playing some good defense there.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, when it comes to Wizrobes, they like to play the role of Dikembe Mutombo, especially when you try to do those block clips.
Well, that's a dead staircase for him.
Yep. Again, this was the room that he missed on the last bomb, but luckily the orange Wizrobe is the enemy and not the blue one, so it'll be an easy fix, but unfortunately it's a red herring for Fred. And in disgust, he's going to burn that block. Certainly don't blame him.
Yeah, he's going to get slow-moed here, but hopefully he's going to go through the walkthrough.
I like how even you go through the walk-through wall very slowly. I like that too. That's a nice touch. And unfortunately, those Wizrobes take him down. And when you're sitting on half speed, that's just a death sentence. But it could be the death that heads him in the right direction. We've seen that happen before in Zelda Randomizer tournament races.
Looks like it will.
Yep, because now he's going to head in the right direction. He's going to find that compass, and not far from that compass was the staircase that had the bow.
Well, he's a better man than me. I would have frustration potioned at this point.
Yeah, you can't fault Fred for the perseverance. I like it. Now he's going to push this block, and this is probably where that bow is going to be. Yep, there it is. It was behind Patra Wayne.
He's got his candle out already. I knew this was coming.
Can't fall. He's bombing the bow as well. As Fred's going to go ahead and pick up the bow, so now he's ready to take on Ganon. I would imagine at this point he knows where he is.
Well, he is moving at a Gibdo speed, isn't he?
I guess so. Now that you think about it, he is moving about as slow as a Gibdo. You're not wrong there.
I thought about block clipping, but I don't think that's going to be a potential solution for you, because when you're slow moded, it really ruins.
Yeah. But he does
Judging-
find a blue bubble.
Judging by his route, I think he's pretty much got it figured out as to where Ganon's going to be in this one. Can't get there from there, though.
Yeah, blue bubble's nice, because another awful thing to try to do during slow mode is get a stun lock on Ganon.
Right, 3 single block rooms in a row like that. That's kind of unusual.
Oh, and you gotta clear this room or go around. That's not fun.
Nope, but that's Zelda Randomizer.
At least you can go around, so you can go up to the left and get in there. That'll work.
Alright, one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Ganon. Or in Fred's case, here's Zelda. We are looking for 8 hits. A Zelda hug will cost him 1 heart, but Fred's not going to take any chances. Going to drink that potion. About halfway home here, there's another hit on Zelda. Can't get that stun lock. Had a shot at it. 1 more hit left to go on Zelda. And down she goes. We've got Royal Jelly. Fred will pick up the Triforce of Wisdom and will backtrack to where Ganon is and will complete this race just over the 2-hour mark.
The one remaining question is, will he get the meat out here?
There's the shutter door that automatically opens. Get your GGs out for Fred. He will finish in 2nd place today, but he is nominated from the tournament yet. He will be down 1-0, but he still has a shot, as this is a best of 3 match. His official SRL time is 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 3 seconds.
It sounds like he's got some cooking of something other than baking to do, so I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up here unless you've got something else for Antlerz.
No, I don't think I have any other questions for Antlerz. I thought you played really well tonight. Only took 3 deaths in a very difficult seed like this, so, I mean, well played. Win 1 more, you move on to the bonus bracket finals, and you win that, you move on against Adaginos.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you guys for the commentary as always. And I'm not sure who our tracker was, but thank you to the tracker and to the Lord of Synth for picking up the restream. Yeah, gonna be looking forward to Thursday. Hopefully Fred can get me in Force of Game 3. That's always fun for everybody.
We will see what happens. So again, GG tonight for you, Antlerz. 1-0 in the best of 3 match between you and Fred Coughlin. Wish you the best of luck in game number 2.
Thanks, guys.
Of course, we also wish Fred the best of luck in his game 2 as well. We're all counting on you. And must say, very interesting first race here in this bonus bracket semifinals.